Sanjay, you're a neurosurgeon, a TV hero, and also now a book author. In addition to all that, you're a devoted son. And I know your parents tried to get the vaccine. It was hard for them, which illustrates an issue that's happening in the United States right now, which is that, I guess, 17 million vaccines have been shipped at this point?
Something like that. 15.
But only 4 million vaccines have been administered. There's a huge gap. These vaccines are not getting into people's arms, and you and your own family have seen 15 million doses have been distributed, 4 million into arms, but you've seen firsthand through your parents the challenges.
Yeah, no, this is pretty remarkable. And I think it's worth just reminding people of those numbers, because the real issue here is the distribution, not the vaccine availability. This is something we'll keep coming back to and discussing. But yeah, it's interesting. My parents live in Lee County, Florida. So Florida gets a certain number of vaccines, and then the vaccines are allocated to the various counties. The counties then decide essentially how are they going to try and get these shots into people's arms. Miami-Dade may handle it different than Broward, may handle it different than Lee County. So where my parents live, for example, the county got a certain number of doses. And what they decided to do there is take the doses and sort of divvy them up among various public buildings. So my parents went on Google, they searched, my mom's very determined, and she basically said, okay, well, I found out that the Lee County Library is going to start vaccinating at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is last Wednesday now, 9 o'clock in the morning. But I also know they have 300 doses, and there are thousands of people who want these doses. So they had to line up, and my parents got there at 1:30 in the morning, line up outside, and these are primarily people over the age of 75, because that's who's in this first tranche, and they waited for about 9 hours to get their vaccine. And I'm going to show you some pictures later on in the week of what these lines look like. My parents, as it turns out of 300 doses, they were given these ticket numbers that said 288 and 289.
Wow.
And eventually they were able to get that first shot of vaccine. But it's incredible. It was like camping out for a Grateful Dead concert or something like that, except for the fact that my parents are over the age of 75. They have pre-existing conditions. They were obviously having to stay spaced. They had to keep a mask on. They were worried about getting dehydrated. It's not super cold in Florida, but it was still chilly outside. So all these things, that's what's sort of transpiring in order for people to get vaccinated in some places. In other places, it's gone much more smoothly, but it's very uneven as you look across the country.